President Obama is meeting with the Colombian President Uribe to discuss these proposals, and we just wanted to send a message personally here from Minnesota to President Obama, urging him to address the concerns that we have. Today we have Gerardo Cajamarca, who's going to be talking, Meredith Abbey, and also Robin Scrivas, as well from Witness for Peace. And my name is Alicia Rainey from the Minnesota Fair Trade Coalition. So without further ado, we'll just start with Gerardo Cajamarca, who will share a few words with us today.
Gracias.
Las organizaciones que están hoy en Washington protestando contra la reunión que tiene el presidente Obama junto con Álvaro Uribe Vélez.
The organizations that are today protesting against the meeting that's happening between Obama and Uribe
están siendo respaldadas desde Minnesota por estas varias organizaciones.
is being backed here in Minnesota by this various organizations.
El objetivo de Álvaro Uribe Vélez es insistir en la firma del Tratado de Libre Comercio y el más dinero para el Plan Colombia. Significa esto para la guerra.
Uribe's objective here is to be able to push forward the free trade agreement and Plan Colombia agreement.
Estamos diciendo al gobierno de Obama
We're telling the Obama government
que sea consecuente con sus promesas de lucha contra la tortura,
that they keep their promise about their struggle against torture
y la violación sistemática de derechos humanos.
and the systemic violation of human rights.
Pedimos al gobierno Obama que no firme este Tratado de Libre Comercio
We ask that the Obama administration does not sign this free trade agreement
y que suspenda, cancele el Plan Colombia.
and that they suspend and cancel Plan Colombia.
Aparte de todos los delitos contra el medio ambiente en las fumigaciones,
We can also look at all of the violations in terms of the environment.
parte de esos 5.000 millones de dólares de los impuestos de los que trabajan en los Estados Unidos,
Including $5 billion from tax dollars of people in the United States
están siendo manejados y entregados al ejército colombiano,
are being handed over to the military of Colombia.
culpable de genocidio,
People who are guilty of genocide,
culpable de masacres, incluso decapitando niños,
people who are guilty of massacres, including decapitating children,
como la masacre de San José de Apartado,
including the massacre of San Jose de Apartado,
y los últimos datos de lo que se ha llamado falsos positivos.
and the most recent statistics of what's been called the positive,
Falsos, sí,
the
falsos
positive,
positivos,
the
que
positive
consiste
bias.
en tomar gente pobre de los barrios pobres de Colombia,
Of taking poor people from poor neighborhoods in Colombia,
disfrazarlos, colocarles de uniformes de guerra, de guerrilleros,
dress them in the uniforms of guerrilleros,
y asesinarlos.
and assassinating them.
Cerca de 3.000 personas
Nearly 3,000 people
en los últimos 2 años han sido asesinadas sistemáticamente de esta manera.
in the last 2 years have been assassinated systematically in this way.
En conclusión,
In conclusion,
no se trata solamente de el problema de los sindicalistas asesinados,
this isn't just about the unionists who have been assassinated,
que es terrible, que es grave.
which is terrible and it's horrible.
Se trata de un plan para imponer el Tratado de Libre Comercio, un plan que incluye un aparato económico, militar y paramilitar.
This is about a plan to be able to impose a free trade agreement that goes hand in hand with the paramilitary and the military and violence.
La historia absolverá o condenará al gobierno de Obama.
The history will absolve or will condemn the Obama administration.
Si sigue o si quiere continuar la política de Bush
If he wants to continue the politics of the Bush administration
de negociar con terroristas
by negotiating with
y
terrorists
estar al servicio de transnacionales
and being at the service of transnational corporations
como la Chiquita Banana,
such as Chiquita Banana,
Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola,
y otras que han financiado paramilitares.
and others who have financed paramilitary.
I went to Colombia in 2004 and 2006 on human rights delegations with the Colombia Action Network. In community after community, people told us of stories of how the paramilitaries worked hand in glove with the Colombian military to commit horrible acts of violence against their own people. In one town, the military encircled the town and only let in paramilitaries who murdered anyone who resisted the government's pro-free trade right-wing agenda. This included school teachers, campesino activists, human rights workers, etc. Today we're calling on President Obama to see Uribe for what he really is. He's not an ally of the United States government, but rather a death squad leader who uses USA to terrorize the people of his country and who wants increased free trade to line the pockets of the wealthy. We call upon Obama to bring home the 800 U.S. military advisors and the 500 U.S. military contractors that are currently stationed in Colombia. The U.S. could encourage a new Colombia, one that seeks good relations with its neighbors and fairness for its own citizens. We say hands off Colombia, money for human needs and not for war. Thank you.
I'm going to just spend a couple of minutes talking about the big picture in Colombia, just reiterating the points that have already been made. And then I'm going to talk about our recommendations for Obama talking to Uribe in Washington, D.C. today. First, I want to talk about labor. In the past year, Colombia has had the highest rate of labor assassinations in the entire world and has made up 65% of labor assassinations in the entire world. Last year, 49 labor leaders were killed in Colombia, and that was 10 more than were murdered in 2007. So the rate has gone up. Already this year, at least 17 labor leaders have been killed in Colombia. Colombia also has the highest rate of internally displaced persons in the world, after only rivaled by Sudan, which has zero infrastructure and a government that's in infancy. So right now, Colombian farmers, indigenous people, and Afro-Colombians are being driven off of their land by multinational corporations and by the government. Finally, extrajudicial killings in Colombia are happening at a ridiculous rate. Human Rights Watch has reported that in recent years, 1,700 civilians have been killed.